Hello and welcome everyone. We're going to start in just a minute, but I just wanted to do one more sound test to make sure that you can hear me okay. Okay, wonderful. Excellent. So I want to welcome you all. I see lots of names and faces of people I know. I'm so happy to see all of you. It's like a little reunion, a little Yoga Nidra reunion, and also a warm welcome to those of you who are joining for the first time, maybe even experiencing Yoga Nidra for the first time, checking it out. So a very warm welcome to you as well. Okay, here we go. I just wanted to change the view so I could see all of you. So it is now time to begin. So let's just start with a very brief centering. Just come up to a comfortable seated position. And if there is any interference with sound or anything like that, just please let us know in the chat box so we can do the best that we can to change that. So just letting your spine be naturally erect, but without being tense. And just allowing the arms and the shoulders to relax around the structure of the spine. Taking full breaths into the belly and letting it all out. Inhaling fully and exhaling completely. One more time, taking a full breath in. This time, hold the breath in for a moment. And then exhale, breathe it all out. Breathing normally. Releasing any tension with the outgoing breath. Let's try this breath again, inhaling. Hold the breath in, sealing off the throat. Holding just a bit longer, but without strain. And when prompted by the body, release the breath all the way out, releasing any tensions without outgoing breath, and then breathing normally. And just feeling the body beginning to settle down, beginning to drop from thinking mind into feeling body. One last breath in together. Hold the breath in, closing off the throat. And holding just a bit longer, but without strain. Remain the neutral observer. And when prompted, release the breath slow and steady. Letting it all go until there's nothing left. Until you're completely empty and open. Simply observing now the rising and falling of the breath. And watching the breath becoming progressively quieter and more still. And we'll begin with one sound of Om, inhaling together. Om. Again. Om. Keep going. Om. Om. Shanti. 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 Shanti means peace. May we know peace. May we live from peace. And may we share peace. May the spirit within each one of us be victorious. And as you're ready, you can open your eyes. And namaste, everyone. For those of you who know my greeting, Jai Bhagwan, that's from my part of India. Jai Bhagwan means victory to the spirit. So welcome, everyone. All right, so here we are, an evening meditation, a deep rest for our busy lives. And even with coronavirus, it's amazing how busy we can make ourselves in different ways. And so this is a time to get inspired, to have a practice of non-doing rather than all the doing that we get into. So I'm going to start with just a few words about what Yoga Nidra is, and maybe a little, we'll see how the time goes, maybe a little time for either questions or stretching, and then I'm going to guide you in a full 35 to 40-minute Yoga Nidra. So first, I just want to begin by thanking Svaha for hosting me and for having me. It's always a pleasure to work with them. Such great people, just easy, and I feel like they have a great vibe and it's wonderful. So thank you for having me. Quick introduction. I've written a book called Yoga Nidra, The Art of Transformational Sleep. I have a PhD in psychology, and I also grew up as the daughter of one of the original yoga masters to pioneer the teachings of yoga poses, of physical yoga that we know in the West. But you know, that might sound like, oh, well, life was easy for her. She had a yoga master as a dad. But I think we've all figured out that knowledge is something different than experience, right? So we can know we need to relax. We know we need to rest. We know what we're supposed to do, but that doesn't mean we do it. So what's wonderful about this practice of Yoga Nidra is that it's something that is easy to do. It's not hard. Everybody's out, everybody's in, nobody's out. You don't even have to do it at a yoga studio if you can't be at a yoga studio. Although to be in group energy, even group energy like this, does make a difference. So just a little bit about what Yoga Nidra is for those of you whom I don't know. And again, a warm greeting to those who I'm seeing who I do know. Yoga Nidra to me is meditation made easy. So a lot of us, we know what we're supposed to do. We know we're supposed to meditate, but that doesn't mean we actually do it. We sit down, we say we're going to meditate, and we end up spending more time thinking about all the stuff that we have to do rather than actually observing our thoughts. So what's different about Yoga Nidra, what's so amazing about it, is that it is composed of a series of body, breath, and awareness techniques that actually take you down into deep brainwave states where you can naturally observe your thoughts. So usually for most people in typical seated meditation, there's effort involved in observing our thoughts. However, in Yoga Nidra, meditation happens naturally as a result of the techniques that you do. So rather than trying to meditate, meditation happens. So especially for novice meditators, people who are new to meditation, Yoga Nidra is a great introductory way to get the powerful benefits of Yoga Nidra sometimes from the very first time you ever practice. And for those who have been meditating for a long time, you may find that this is a way to take you into those very, very deep meditative states that you may have already been to, but in a very quick and easy way. The other thing that I love about Yoga Nidra that makes it so unique, even from other styles of meditation, is the use of intention. So in Yoga Nidra, what we do is we actually work backwards through the brain waves, from higher waking brain waves all the way down to the same brain waves that you would be in deep sleep, in theta and delta brainwave states. And in this state, what you're progressively doing is we're actually moving from the conscious mind to the subconscious mind to the unconscious mind, and even to what is called the collective unconscious. So I don't have time to go into all of it here, but basically the idea is, as we're going deeper and deeper into Yoga Nidra, we're actually reaching deeper into the core of our consciousness. And according to yogis, this is where our karma, our internal karma, called our samskaras, are held. If you're not familiar with those terms, think of it as your core patterns, your core beliefs, some of the foundational things that make up your character. So unless we're really reaching into these very, very subtle and core states of our being, we can make superficial changes, but it's not going to make a change from the very essence of your being. It will be a superficial change. And so one of the unique aspects of Yoga Nidra, and this is actually written about in yogic scriptures, is that Yoga Nidra actually has the power to rewrite your karma. Meaning you can actually go into these states and rewrite your core beliefs about life, the ideas that you have, those patterns that keep you getting stuck. You can actually reshape and redirect those from these subtle states of being. Not only that, but when we go into these Yoga Nidra states, even beyond the core of our consciousness, what the yogis say is that there's an abiding place of stillness, something that is even prior to our thoughts, prior to the body, prior to every thought, feeling, emotion, everything. There's something, a peace that is present before all those things. And as we go into these Yoga Nidra states and progressively, it's like pull from the outside world towards the inside world, we are able to access that abiding sense of peace. We learn to live there. And the idea is, for most of us, at least, until we figured out that this doesn't really work very well, for most of us, we're trying to get all our to-dos lists done to get to peace, right? So we have this idea in our head, when I get these 25 things done, then I'm going to be able to relax. Anybody recognize that? So we tell ourselves, well, just when this is done, then I'll relax. Well, then as soon as you get that done, there's something else that has to be done. And when that's done, then something else has to be done. So we keep delaying our access to peace. Well, Yoga Nidra and yoga actually comes at it in a completely different way. It says, rather than devoting your life, waiting for the day when things are peaceful, find the peace in the midst of your life. Find the peace in the midst of your life. So rather than waiting for the day when peace will be present, find the peace in the midst of your life. And what I love about Yoga Nidra is that this is a profound, easy way to begin to be able to access this. So a little bit about the science. I have so much that I could say, but I really want to get to the Yoga Nidra itself. But there is science to back up what I'm saying. There's tons of science, in fact, to back up what I'm saying. But in short, especially in relation to Yoga Nidra as a deep rest for busy lives, Yoga Nidra is a very powerful way to reset your nervous system. So most of us, without even knowing it, have accumulated so much excess tension that we're living in a state of chronic stress without even knowing it. But Yoga Nidra is a very powerful way to just kind of discharge all that excess tension that we have accumulated. It's like we get tight and our shoulders go up and around our ears and we're like, no, I'm not tense. I'm not tense. I'm not tense. But we start to become so accustomed to living like this with our shoulders up around our ears, we don't even know that we are living in a state of tension. So as we go into the Yoga Nidra, we're discharging all that excess tension and the body can come back to a neutral state. Some of the things that Yoga Nidra is shown to do is it gives you more immunity to stress. So the more you practice Yoga Nidra, it actually makes it more difficult for you to get stressed out. You have more ability to stay steady in the midst of stress. It's a great tool to help you with depression and anxiety and to help you fall asleep. Yoga Nidra releases things like GABA and serotonin. And in fact, of all its benefits, Yoga Nidra is shown to be most powerful for depression, anxiety, and mood disorders. Anyone have trouble falling asleep, Yoga Nidra is great for that as well. So I'm not going to bore you with all that, because I think the best thing to do is for you to experience it. But I have a little more time, so I'm going to talk a little bit more. One more thing I wanted to share with you, kind of as a lead-in today, because the Yoga Nidra that I put together for you today is around clearing the mental body. So according to yoga, and let's just come over here to the board. So according to yoga, our body is made up of more than just the physical body that we see. So pretend this is your physical body. But subtler than the physical body that we have is our energy body, the mental body, the wisdom body, and the bliss body. And in Yoga Nidra, actually what we're doing when I said we're reaching into the core of consciousness is we're actually working backwards through each of these layers of our being to the core of our consciousness. This is where our core patterns and beliefs are held. But today, I've actually created a Yoga Nidra focusing on the mental body. And the issue with the mental body is think of it as your brain. It is the data processor. And this brain as the data processor is taking in information through the senses all the time. And I think that we can agree that we are increasingly inundated. Our senses are increasingly overwhelmed. All the sounds around us, all the things that we're taking in, advertising all over the place. It's just the senses are being constantly barraged. And this actually tires out the mental body. It gets tired and exhausted. And when your mental body gets tired, you get irritable. Your mental body gets, you can't focus or concentrate. You start to go into a mode where you're kind of shut down to the stuff around you. You may not even notice it, but it's kind of like you just stop seeing or interacting with the things around you. You just kind of put on a tunnel vision and go about your business. You stop actually noticing and interacting with your environment in a creative way. So when the mental body gets tired, we have less resilience to the bumps in life. It's like everything hits us. One little thing, we find out, a bike has a flat tire or your bike's been stolen or whatever it is, that hits you much harder than if your mental body is strong. So this particular Yoga Nidra is actually designed to take you into a state where we can actually begin to clear the mental body. And this poor mental body has taken in all these senses, and these impressions are left there. Think of it like a computer that has a cache, and it takes a record of every place that you visited on your computer. And if that cache gets full, the computer doesn't operate very well. It starts to slow down. Well, the same is true of your brain. Your mental body and your brain, think of them as more or less the same thing. So when your brain or your mental body gets filled up with all these senses, everything starts to slow down and we feel tired and exhausted and irritable. We can't think so clearly. So one of the things that is known, according to yoga, is that Yoga Nidra creates a profound internalization of attention. So instead of our attention focusing outward, through this series of body, breath, and awareness techniques, we begin to pull attention inward, back towards that silent backdrop we were talking about, the peace that is within. And the more that you pull back and rest as that peace, you are actually giving the brain or the mental body a complete and total rest. And according to yoga, it rejuvenates your mental fire. It rejuvenates your brain. And from the Western point of view, you can think about, your brain is doing most of its hard work when it's awake. It's rejuvenating and clearing stuff in dream and deep sleep. Well, this is what we're doing in Yoga Nidra, but we are supercharging the effects of the Yoga Nidra so that rather than having to sleep for 8 hours to have your brain be rejuvenated, we can get a big rejuvenating effect to the brain, to the mental body in as little as 45 minutes. And I'm sure that many of you have heard that 45 minutes of Yoga Nidra is as rejuvenating as 3 hours of sleep. So that's kind of the idea of what I'm going to do. And the other thing about the mental body is this. I mentioned that everything that we have recorded, that our senses have taken in, are actually registered by this mental body, by this brain. And when we have been exposed to negative impressions or too many impressions, but just stuff that's around us, difficult people, difficult situations, things that made us angry, people who just get you down, whatever it is, they actually do leave an impression. And through this process of going into Yoga Nidra and clearing your mental body, you can actually clear your mind, detoxify your mind of these negative stimulations. This is why Yoga Nidra is a great thing to do actually at the time of day that you're doing it right now, because it helps you let go of your day. The people and the things and the situations that keep circling around in there, it helps clear the cache out, clear it all out, detoxify your mind of negative stimulations so that you're clear and balanced and ready to fall asleep or go into the next day. All right. So with that, I hope that's exciting enough for you, good enough reason to practice Yoga Nidra. And what I thought is we would start with just a couple of stretches to prepare ourselves. And what you're going to see, just in brief, let's come back over here, is that the process of Yoga Nidra that I'm going to lead you through, this style is called I Am Yoga Nidra. It is energy-based and it's designed to primarily supercharge the release of healing energy in your body, which also creates profound levels of stillness. So I'm going to be, as I guide you, you'll notice that I lead you through body-based techniques like asana, tension and relaxation. I'll lead you through some breathing techniques. Today, we're going to work with clearing the body using images. So I will be saying images to you, and these images are supposed to act like a dream. So a dream mixes what's inside your consciousness with the impressions that you picked up during the day. And then as you dream, that all gets cleared out through your system. So the idea is that when you use rapid images in a yoga nidra, it works in a very similar way. It's these images come in and they mix with what's already in your consciousness. And as you just witness and observe them, they get carried out through your system, and voila, your mental body's cleared. So we're going to do some mental body today. Wisdom body has to do with being the witness. And so at the deepest part of the nidra in here, and actually at the deepest right in here, the wisdom in this, I would just have you notice that you are the observer of all these thoughts and feelings and impressions that are simply moving through as you rest as that abiding stillness, the peace behind all that mind stuff. And then we go out to the bliss, the wisdom and the bliss, that's resting as the witness. We get access to the core of our consciousness. We just rest there and trust that whatever gets to get cleared needs to get cleared. I'm going to read you some affirmations to help clear out stuff. We rest as the source itself. That's the white of the board. And then we slowly come back into embodiment, but now having touched the piece that is at your core. Okay. So let's begin by coming up to a standing position. And I know everyone's got different setups, so just adjust this for you and also adjust whatever we do for your body. These are going to be very simple stretches, so it shouldn't be much of a concern. So let's just begin by inhaling and bringing the arms up overhead, interlacing the fingers, turning the palms inside out, and just opening one side of the body and then the other. And the purpose of moving into the body is to use the body as a bridge to the state of meditation. So really anchor your attention in the sensations in your body, especially as we continue with these movements. So this time as you come over to the other side, just feeling the opening through the side of the ribs. Coming back to center, pressing the hips forward, the chest up. And then slowly releasing the arms down. Bringing your arms to your sides. Take a breath in and let go. And then stepping your feet wider than hip width apart. And we're just going to zoom the camera back a little bit if we can. And if not, you're just going to have to visualize this. So go ahead and bend your knees. And I'm going to have you place your hands on your thighs, just close to the knees though, not at the hip crease, but closer to the knees. And you're going to press one shoulder forward as you look up over the opposite shoulder, creating a gentle twist in the spine. And then coming up and over to the other side. And just alternating from side to side. You can press on your inner thighs to create a little opening in your inner thighs. A couple more times, just finding your own rhythm. And then coming back to center, rising up, drawing your inner thighs together, stepping your feet underneath your hips. And once again, just allowing the eyes to close. And if it feels right, you can take a full breath in. Let it out with a sigh. Releasing that tension out. And then opening your eyes once again. This time reaching around behind you to take hold of your left wrist, gently pulling down on the left wrist as you tilt your head to the right. So you want to feel an opening along the left side of the neck or the right side. There's no right way to do this. This is a very typical place where we tend to accumulate tension without even realizing it. Maybe even turning the chin down towards the floor a little bit. And then coming back to center. And let's come over to the other side, this time taking hold of the right wrist, gently pulling down on the right wrist as you tilt the head away to the left. Taking some full breaths in and out, maybe even just kind of a little sway from side to side. Notice if this side is tighter or looser. Turning the chin down in the direction of the floor a little bit. See if you can find that place where you're getting that optimum opening. And then slowly coming back to center, releasing the hands at the sides. And just feeling yourself beginning to enter into your own bodily presence. And notice how as you connect with the body, the mind automatically begins to quiet. The first step of turning outward attention inward. Then opening the eyes once again. And we'll just enter into our version of Utkatasana, standing squat this evening. Doesn't have to be really fancy. It doesn't have to be really deep. We just want to engage the body before we let go completely. So I'm going to have you inhale, extend your arms straight out in front of you, palms facing down, thumb and fingers together. The feet are parallel to one another and underneath the hips. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, bend the knees and allow the hips to come out behind you just a little bit, as if you were going to sit in a chair. But don't lean forward too far. So keep your chest lifted. Shift your weight into your heels a little bit. You'll feel the intensity go up. And we're going to use our breath here. 3 full breaths. Now see if you can engage the body without engaging struggle in the mind. Use your breath to help you. If you need to come out or do a little bit less, please do so. One last breath, inhaling fully. And exhaling completely, standing tall, and release the arms at your sides. Close your eyes. Take a full breath in and let it go. Whew. And now just making your way to an easy forward bend, however that looks for you. Perhaps separating the feet wider than hip width apart and allowing the hips to come back as the torso comes forward and down. And just sliding the hands down the legs towards the shins, ankles, or feet. If the hands touch the floor, let them touch the floor. If not, no worries. The hands can be on the shins or the thighs. And perhaps bending into one knee. And then the other, just alternating from side to side. Relaxing the crown of the head towards the floor. And just paying attention to the release in the lower back, the backs of the legs. Straightening both legs if that's available to you. And just taking 3 full breaths here. Letting go of any effort to make it happen. Just enjoying being in your body. And then softening the knees, placing the hands on the thighs just above the knees, rising up slowly. Stepping the feet together. And then as you're ready, go ahead and make your way to your Yoga Nidra spot. So I know that Barbara from Svaha sent out some suggestions for you to set up. If you have any low back issues, I recommend you place a pillow or 2 underneath your knees. You can place a little bit of height underneath your head, but you don't want so much that the height of the pillow is distracting. It hurts your neck. It shouldn't be distracting for you. So only as much height as you need underneath the head. And your body temperature will drop during a Yoga Nidra because you're moving so powerfully inward. So definitely cover yourself with a blanket or have one handy. And just take a minute to get yourself organized. And as you're getting ready, I'll just mention a few things. If you do have an eye pillow, feel free to place it over your eyes. You can cover your arms if you wish. And one of the techniques we're going to be doing is called tension and relaxation. If you should not have pressure in your head for any reason, if you're pregnant, if you have untreated high blood pressure, if you have a sinus infection, detached retina, anything where you should not be having pressure in the head, I'm going to ask you to breathe normally. Do not hold your breath as you do this technique. And I'll remind you as we get in as well. Everything else, the main thing is just for you to receive the guidance. Don't try to stay with me. If you feel yourself falling away into the silence, that's what's supposed to happen. And when you feel yourself come back, just pick up with the guidance where you left off. So don't struggle to stay with the sound of my voice. Just follow the directions and allow it to take you where it takes you. All right. So with that, just making any last minute adjustments. And if anybody can, if you're able to, just let me know that the sound is okay. Can you hear me okay? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Well, as you're ready, close your eyes and quiet your mind. Be still. Let go of all thoughts, worries, and tensions. Give yourself fully to a higher power. Relax, trust, and let go. Breathe in fully and exhale with a deep sigh. And again, breathe in fully. And exhale, let go even more. And feel a deep sense of peace and contentment in your heart. And trust that whether you understand every word or not, you will receive this Yoga Nidra energetically and non-mentally. So let go of any effort or struggle to make anything happen. Now bring your body into awareness. You recognize that your body has been a trusted vehicle, creating accomplishments and contributions to the best of its ability. Now it is time for your body to rest deeply. And we'll move our attention into the body to release trapped energy and tension. If you cannot have undue pressure in the head, it's important that you breathe normally as you tighten the body. Beginning with the upper body, make fists and deliberately tighten shoulders, arms, fists. Tighten, tighten, even more, even more. Now let go. Relax. And on your next exhalation, let go even more. Observe the flood of energy in the arms. Now, this time, as you inhale, deliberately tighten the hips, buttocks, legs, feet. Tighten, tighten, hold, hold, even more, and let go. Let go completely. On your next exhalation, let go even more. Relax. Now this time, tighten and tense the entire body as you inhale. Arms, hands, shoulders, feet, legs, face, buttocks, tighten, tighten, hold, even the face, tighten the face, hold, and let go. On your next exhalation, let go even more. Observe and feel the flood of energy extending to all the muscles, nerves, and cells of your entire body. Let your whole body go limp, like a rag doll. Release any holding anywhere. Feel yourself descending down into the stillness beneath the mind. All excess tension and holding carried out with each exhaling breath. Feel your outward attention moving inward. Now, as we enter this next phase of Yoga Nidra, remain as motionless as possible. If you need to move or make an adjustment, do so mindfully and return to stillness as soon as you're able. Resolve to remain gently awake, staying in touch with the sound of my voice. Simply allow your entire body to respond to my words directly and non-mentally. Allow any disturbances, external or internal, to draw you more deeply within. In Yoga Nidra, you enter the subconscious field of prana, energy. Let your mind merge and melt into the energy body and go beyond the boundaries of body and mind. Now drop from thinking and doing to feeling and being. Do absolutely nothing from now on. Drop into the deepest state of tranquility, stillness, and peace. Now follow my guidance as we begin the relaxation breath. Breathing in, deeply fill your lungs from the bottom to the top, as if filling a water bottle. As you breathe out, empty your lungs from the top to the bottom. Let your breath be slow and steady. Observe the movement of your abdomen and chest as you breathe in and out. Inhaling bottom to top, exhaling top to bottom. Stay connected to the wonderful feeling of the release of tension and the deep feeling of relaxation. Let this feeling extend to every part of the body. Let this entire process of breathing be the vehicle for deepening your relaxation. Now redirect your full attention to the breath. Let the flow of your breath be as steady and uniform as possible. Undivided attention to the movement of your abdomen and chest as you breathe in and out. With each breath out, release any tensions held in the body and anticipations in the mind. With each breath in, fill every nerve and cell with pulsating, healing energy. Breathing out, let go of holding anywhere in the body. Let go even more. With the next breath in, visualize your body renewed and revitalized with new life. Empty your body and mind and enter deeper levels of stillness and silence. Now breathe normally and be still. Feel all the tension in your mind and tightness in your muscles simply melt, drain away, and dissolve in the expanding energy field. Now bring your attention to the eyebrow center. Recognize your deep connection to the original source of life force, the life energy that sustains your life. Experience stillness extending everywhere. Now, as I name the body part, bring your total attention, accompanied by a feeling of heaviness, sinking like a stone in water. Both feet heavy like stones. Calves and knees heavy, sinking deeper. Thighs and hips very heavy like lead. Abdomen, chest, and back. Gravity pulling you down deeper. Shoulders, arms, palms, very, very heavy. So heavy that even if you tried to lift them, you couldn't. Feel your entire head heavy like a stone. Give your body completely and totally to the omnipresent field of gravity. Experience your whole body heavy like a rock. Feel the whole body sinking deeper and deeper. Totally let go into the pull of gravity. Sinking heavy like a stone, deeper into stillness and silent awareness. Now shift your attention, and as I name the part of the body, let all heaviness drain away. Let your body be buoyant and light, like a fluffy cloud. Both feet, limp and light. Calves and knees, empty, free. Feel it. Thighs and hips, hollow, weightless. Abdomen, chest, and back, light and empty. Shoulders, arms, palms, floating. Head, hollow, empty. Feel the whole body, empty, light, and hollow. Sense the emptiness of your body and silence of your mind. Resting in witness consciousness, allow yourself to receive the following images. Judge nothing. Remain unconditionally open and present to all that passes in the field of awareness. Sunrise on a desert. Sunset on the ocean. Bonfire at night. Golden spiderweb. Crescent moon. And now be still. Be the witness, unattached to all that passes. Be totally present, completely absorbed. Now bring your attention to the center between your eyebrows and drop into the deepest level of relaxation. Here there remains nothing to do or achieve. You have entered the domain of grace. In this domain of integration, you are the witness of all that is happening, but doing nothing to make it happen. All that can never be done by your doing can happen only in the non-doing presence of your being. Feel completely safe and comfortable as you hand yourself over to the power and protection of presence. Here, your intentions and affirmations are actualized and fulfilled with effortless ease. Allow yourself to receive the following affirmations as I repeat them. Let your whole body listen to what I say. I let go of that which I cannot control. I do my best and let go. I allow that which is coming to come. I allow that which is going to go. I go to the source that heals all conflicts and restores my health and peace of mind. Know that releases, shifts, and changes are happening without you having to do anything about it. Recognize at this sacred moment that your whole being has made a major paradigm shift. Establish yourself in total trust and faith that remains free from any need to be in control. Feel totally unburdened and free to move in life with effortless ease. Knowing that you are soul, you can witness life's experiences and let them pass by, trusting that right response and right actions will come through you. With that knowing, keep your heart open to all conditions. At this time, feel the presence of any guides, masters, teachers, or family members you feel connected to. You may sense this as a universal force or energy surrounding you, guiding you. Know that this presence is with you always. Do not hesitate, doubt, or dispute it. You can call on it at any time. Now slowly begin to deepen your inhalations and exhalations. Allowing your inhalations to be a bit more full. Your exhalations a bit more complete. Simply becoming aware of the rising and falling of the breath. And slowly feel yourself beginning to rise to the surface of awareness. Take your time, there's no hurry. Feeling the body resting on the floor. The quality of the air as it touches the skin. And only as you feel the impulse, you can begin to move the fingers and toes. If the impulse is to remain still, do so. Perhaps bringing the knees into the chest, gently rocking from side to side, if that feels right. And if you wish, you can roll over onto your right side. Taking a moment to get comfortable there. And feel yourself held in the safety, comfort, and protection of existence. Regardless of what you consciously recognize that has or has not changed, know that something deep within has shifted. And bring a deep sense of peace and contentment with you as you bring awareness back to the physical body. Just observe how relaxed the body is, how soft the breath is, how quiet the heartbeat is. Be still and be grateful. Know that you can easily return here again and again. And then you can either remain where you are, or if you wish, just using the strength of your hands to bring yourself up to a seated position. Just taking a moment to get settled, maybe placing something under your hips so that we can sit quietly for a minute or two. And notice how your attention is automatically and effortlessly held in meditation. There is a sense of abiding peace. This is that sense of abiding peace. The more we come here, the more we begin to live life from this place. The contents of life don't change, but the place from which we experience it changes. We let life come as it comes. We let it go as it goes. We know that regardless of what comes and goes, we always have access to a peace that is unchanging, ever present, always accessible. This is the place from which we begin to live. This is the ultimate purpose of Yoga Nidra. We'll chant one sound of Om together, inhaling. Om. Feel the vibration. Notice the impulse to want to stay with that peace, the inner quiet. And then as you're ready, bringing the hands together at heart center, opening your eyes. And namaste, everyone. Jai Bhagwan. Jai Bhagwan means victory to the spirit. Namaste means salutations to that. And it means that silent, abiding space that we just touched. The thing that I love about Yoga Nidra is it's not just philosophy. We actually get to go there. We experience what the yogis are talking about. We know it, it becomes a part of us, and it's so easy. So I want to thank you all for being here with me this evening. I know that some of you are thinking about studying a little bit more. I am going to be coming to Svaha in April 29th to May 2nd, and then again, June 3rd to the 6th. So if you want to learn more about the philosophy of Yoga Nidra, and also the science. This is something for you to consider. Also to just do multiple yoga nidras for yourself if there's something that you're trying to heal or work with. So if you want that information, definitely be in touch with Svaha. I'd love to see you there. And it's just been a pleasure to be with you this evening. And those of you who are already graduates, so nice to see you again. Sending you all my love. Bye-bye. You're very welcome. So I'll say goodbye. You're welcome. Great to see you.